Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. If I tell you that women must hide 3 things from a man, what do you think they are? Some of you might already be thinking, is it her age, her past, or maybe how much she truly spends on shopping? But no, no, no. Today we are not here to play games of deception. We are here to understand the deep wisdom behind what a woman must keep sacred, protected, and hidden, not to manipulate, but to elevate. A woman's heart is like a fortress, but within it there are secret chambers, places so delicate, so vulnerable that revealing them to the wrong person can bring devastation. When a woman exposes her deepest fears and weaknesses to a man too soon, she is not opening the doors to love. She is opening the gates to potential destruction. Look at the world around you. Does a warrior in battle hand over his sword before knowing whether the other person is friend or foe? No, he studies, he observes, he tests. Only when he is sure does he decide whether to lower his guard or raise his shield. A woman must do the same. In life, not every man who comes close is there to protect. Some come to conquer, some come to break, some come with empty hands only to take. And when a woman reveals her vulnerabilities too soon, she risks giving them the very weapons they need to hurt her. Imagine a woman who tells a man on their first few meetings, "I am scared of being alone." If that man has an honest heart, he will reassure her, he will cherish her, he will stand by her side. But what if he is a man who only sees value in control? What if he is a man who sees weakness as an opportunity? He will take that fear and use it, knowing that no matter how badly he treats her, she will be afraid to walk away. He will not love her, he will own her. This is why a woman must be wise. A queen does not let just anyone into her throne room. A queen does not reveal her strategies, her weaknesses, her innermost thoughts to those who have not yet proven their loyalty. A woman must treat her heart the same way. Some will say, but shouldn't love be about openness? Shouldn't we share everything? But love is not foolishness. Love is not throwing yourself into the fire and hoping it does not burn. Love is about trust, and trust is not given, it is earned. A woman's fears, her scars, her shadows, these are not decorations to be displayed in front of just any man who smiles at her. They are treasures wrapped in pain, wrapped in experience, wrapped in the echoes of battles she has fought alone. And she must choose with great care who she unveils them to. Think of the strongest women in history. They were not women who walked around revealing their insecurities to every ear that would listen. They carried themselves with an air of mystery, with grace, with power. They understood that vulnerability is sacred. It is not for entertainment. It is not for manipulation. It is not a test to see who stays and who leaves. If a man is worthy, if he is true, if he comes not to conquer but to cherish, then over time, through actions, through loyalty, through a consistency, he will earn the right to see what lies beyond the surface. He will not demand to know her wounds, he will simply be there. And in his presence, she will feel safe enough to share. But until then, a woman must hold herself like the queen she is. Not cold, not distant, but guarded, discerning, wise, because the world is filled with men who can charm their way into a woman's life, but very few are strong enough to hold space for her storms without running. A woman must understand this. Not every man who listens truly hears. Not every man who comforts truly cares. Some listen to learn how to control. Some comfort to gain trust, only to later use it as leverage. The ones who are true They do not need to be told everything in the first breath. They will show themselves in time. Let a man prove his intentions. Let a man show through his actions that he is a protector, not a predator. Let him stand in the fire and not waver. And only then, when his presence feels like safety, when his heart speaks the language of sincerity, when his soul resonates with loyalty, only then should a woman reveal what truly lies beneath. Because a woman's soul is not a battlefield for just anyone to enter. It is a sacred temple, and only the worthy may step inside. A woman's dreams are like the first light of dawn, gentle, full of promise, yet fragile. If she exposes them too soon, before they have taken root, they can be crushed by doubt, fear, and the weight of expectations placed upon her by others. Not every ear that listens is there to encourage. Not every voice that speaks is meant to guide. Some will discourage, some will belittle, some will laugh. Not because they know better, but because they have never dared to dream themselves. When a woman shares her vision too soon, the world often responds with limitation. Are you sure you can do this? Isn't this too risky? Maybe you should focus on something more practical. These words may not always come from a place of malice. Sometimes they come from those who love her but do not understand the fire that burns within her. They project their own fears onto her, unknowingly dimming the light she carries. But a woman with a vision must learn one thing: silence is power. Her dreams are not up for debate. They are not to be placed before those who have never dared to step beyond the ordinary. Some men, even those with love in their hearts, may not have the capacity to see what she sees. They may try to keep her within the bounds of what is known, what is comfortable, what is safe. But greatness does not grow in comfort. A woman destined for more must learn to walk the path of her dreams with quiet determination. Look at the most powerful forces in nature. The seed does not announce itself before it becomes a tree. The river does not explain its course before it carves through mountains. The moon does not seek permission to shine. They simply become. A woman must be the same. She does not need to justify, to prove, to seek validation for what she knows in her heart to be true. She must protect her vision like a secret flame, shielding it from the winds of doubt until it is strong enough to light up the sky. There is a reason why history remembers the women who dared. Not because they were fearless, but because they did not let fear dictate their path. A woman who dreams must move in silence, not because she doubts herself, but because she understands that the world is not always ready for what she carries. Some dreams are too big for small minds. Some ambitions are too vast for those who have never looked beyond their own limitations. If she speaks too soon, she may find herself tangled in the opinions of those who do not see her vision. Why do you want to start a business? It's too risky. Why do you want to travel? It's unsafe. Why do you want to grow? Isn't what you have enough? These are the voices of the uninspired, the fearful, the ones who settle long before they reach their full potential. Their words are not truth. They are reflections of their own limits. A woman must guard her dreams the way a mother guards her child. She does not place it in the hands of strangers. She does not let the world shape it before it has had the chance to grow. She nurtures it in silence, feeding it with belief, with effort, with relentless pursuit. And when the time is right, when her dream is no longer a fragile idea but an unshakable force, she lets the world see what she has created. Some will admire, some will envy, some will ask, "How did you do it?" And that is when she will smile, because she will know she did not waste her energy explaining. She did not spend her strength convincing. She did not let the voices of limitation enter the sacred space of her ambition. She simply did what she was always meant to do. She became. Love is the most powerful force a woman possesses. It is the essence of her soul, the fire in her spirit, the depth of her existence. But if she gives it away too soon, too easily, before a man has truly earned it, she does not offer love, she offers herself as a sacrifice. A woman's love is not a gift that should be handed out freely to every man who smiles at her. It is a treasure, and only those who have proven their worth should be allowed to receive it. A woman must understand that her love has value the moment she gives all of herself too quickly, before a man has shown his loyalty, his strength, his ability to hold her heart with care. She risks losing something precious. Because what is given without effort is taken without appreciation. What is offered too soon is rarely cherished. What is too easily accessible is too easily discarded. Look at the ocean. It does not reveal all its depth to the first sailor who arrives. It keeps its mysteries hidden beneath the surface, showing only to those who are willing to dive deep. A woman's love must be the same. It must not be poured out like water in the hands of someone who does not know how to hold it. It must not be wasted on a man who does not value what he has been given. It must not be surrendered to someone who has not proven that he can handle its power. Men value what they work for. A throne is meaningless to a man who did not fight for his kingdom. A treasure is worthless to a man who did not search for it. A love that comes too easily without challenge, without effort, is a love that will not last. A woman who gives too much of herself without first seeing if a man is worthy will soon find herself drained, empty, and unappreciated. She will wonder why he no longer values her, why he takes her for granted, why he does not see the depth of what she offers. But the truth is, he never had to earn it, and what is not earned is never truly respected. A man must rise to deserve a woman's heart. He must show consistency, not just charm. He must show patience, not just passion. He must show that he is capable of holding space for her storms, not just enjoying her sunshine. And until he does, a woman must guard her love the way a queen guards her crown. She must not let it fall into the hands of a man who does not understand its worth. The problem is, women have been taught that love is sacrifice. That love is giving, giving, giving until there is nothing left. That love means accepting pain, enduring neglect, waiting endlessly for a man to change. But love is not suffering. Love is not begging for attention. Love is not waiting for someone to realize your worth. A woman must understand that love is not proven by how much she endures, but by how much she values herself. If a man does not cherish her presence, she must learn to walk away. If he does not respect her boundaries, she must not lower them. If he does not appreciate her love, she must not chase him to make him see it. Because a woman's love is a privilege, not a right. And a man must earn that privilege, not expect it to be handed to him simply because he exists. Some will say, but isn't love about giving? Yes, but giving is meaningful only when it is received with gratitude, with respect, with equal energy. A woman must never pour from a cup that a man refuses to fill. She must never empty herself for someone who does not pour back into her soul. Love is exchange, not exhaustion. Look at the most beautiful things in the world. The stars do not beg to be noticed. The moon does not chase the night. The sun does not shrink itself to be loved. A woman must be the same. She must become the kind of love that stands strong, that radiates power, that does not beg to be seen but is impossible to ignore. A man who truly loves a woman does not need to be convinced of her worth. He does not need her to give everything before he proves himself. He does not take advantage of her emotions, her kindness, her deep desire to love and be loved. He honors it, he protects it, he works for it. Because a woman's love is not a charity, it is a reward. Let a man show who he is first. Let him show whether he is worthy of the depth, the loyalty, the fire a woman carries inside her. Let him prove, not with words, but with actions, that he is ready for something real, something that cannot be found in fleeting moments of passion, but in the strength of commitment. Until then, a woman must hold her love with sacred hands, not out of fear, not out of pride, but out of self-respect. Because the greatest mistake a woman can make is loving a man more than he respects her. And the greatest power a woman can hold is knowing that her love is not for everyone, it is for the one who proves himself worthy of it. Mystery is not deception. Mystery is power. It is the silent force that compels respect, ignites curiosity, and commands attention without a single word. A woman who understands this does not rush to reveal everything about herself. She does not throw her entire soul into a man's hands before she knows whether those hands are capable of holding something so precious. She does not lay herself bare before she has seen whether he has the depth to truly understand her. Look at the most enchanting things in life. The moon does not reveal all its light at once. The ocean does not show all its depths to the first sailor who arrives. A queen does not open the doors of her palace to every passerby. Why? Because what is rare must be discovered, not handed out. What is valuable must be earned, not given freely. A woman's essence, her thoughts, her emotions, her soul, these are not things to be placed on display for just any man who walks into her life. They are treasures, and treasures are only for those who prove their worth. Men are drawn to mystery, not because they enjoy games, but because they are wired to pursue. A woman who keeps a sense of mystery about her does not do so to manipulate, she does it to maintain her power. The moment she reveals too much too soon, she risks becoming predictable, ordinary, something a man no longer feels the need to discover. And the moment a man stops discovering, he stops valuing. A woman who understands mystery does not rush to explain herself. She does not desperately try to prove her worth. She does not overshare her thoughts, emotions, and plans before she has seen whether a man is truly invested in knowing her beyond the surface. She does not give away the map to her soul before a man has shown that he is willing to journey through its landscapes with patience, with effort, with devotion. Some will say, but isn't honesty important in a relationship? Yes, but honesty does not mean exposure. Honesty does not mean laying every piece of yourself on the table without discernment. Honesty means being truthful, but also being wise about who deserves your truth. A woman must not confuse vulnerability with recklessness. She must not mistake openness for surrender. The greatest mistake a woman can make is thinking that the more she gives of herself, her time, her emotions, her energy, the more a man will love her. No, the more she gives without requiring effort, the more she teaches him that she is easily available, easily understood, easily taken for granted. What is easy to get is easy to leave. What is handed over without effort is rarely cherished. A man must earn the right to her mind, her heart, her soul. He must work to understand the layers of who she is. He must prove, not just with words but with actions, that he values her enough to explore her depth with patience and sincerity. And until he does, she must not reveal everything. Not out of manipulation, but out of self-respect. Look at the most powerful women in history. They did not rush to explain themselves. They did not beg to be understood. They did not seek validation by exposing their every thought and emotion to those who had not earned the right to see them fully. They carried an air of quiet strength, a presence that made others lean in, curious, captivated, wondering what lay beneath the surface. That is power. That is magnetism. That is the essence of a woman who knows her worth. A woman who understands mystery does not chase. She does not seek approval. She does not plead to be loved. She exists in her own energy, allowing the right man to rise to meet her, not lowering herself to be easily reached. She lets a man invest, lets him wonder, lets him feel the thrill of truly discovering her instead of having everything handed to him on day one. Some will ask, but won't this push a man away? Only if he was never meant to stay. Only if he was looking for something easy, something convenient, something he did not have to work for. The right man will not run from a woman who holds mystery. He will be drawn to her, intrigued by her, inspired by her. Because he will see that she is not like the rest. She is not desperate for attention. She is not trying to impress. She is simply being, and that alone is enough to captivate him. There is no rush, no urgency to reveal all, no need to prove anything. A woman who understands mystery walks with confidence, speaks with purpose, and guards her essence with care. She does not give herself away in desperation. She does not overshare in the hopes of being understood. She lets time reveal, lets action prove, lets effort determine who is worthy of knowing her deeper truths. Because a woman who knows how to hold back, how to let a man earn his place in her life, how to keep an air of mystery that invites respect instead of availability, that is a woman who will never be forgotten. A woman's weaknesses are not for every man to see, not because she must pretend to be strong at all times, but because not every man is worthy of holding her vulnerability. Weakness is not something to be displayed like a painting in a museum open for the judgment of those who do not understand its depth. It is something sacred, something only meant for the hands that know how to hold it with care. A woman must be wise in choosing who gets to witness her moments of struggle, of doubt, of pain, because in the wrong hands, her weakness becomes a weapon against her. The world is not always kind to a woman who bears her soul too easily. Some men do not see a woman's struggles and feel the need to protect her. Some see an opportunity to control her. They listen not with the intention of helping, but with the intention of gaining power over her emotions. They remember her weaknesses not to comfort her, but to use them against her when it benefits them. A woman who reveals her deepest fears, her insecurities, her emotional wounds to a man who has not yet proven his loyalty may one day hear those same words thrown back at her in a moment of anger, used to break her down instead of lift her up. A man must earn the right to see a woman's vulnerable side. Just because he is close does not mean he is trustworthy. Just because he says he cares does not mean he understands, and just because he listens does not mean he will protect what he hears. A woman's pain is not a test to see who will stay. It is a truth that should only be shared with someone who has already proven that he will never walk away when times get difficult. Look at the strongest structures in the world. The foundation is hidden beneath the ground. The pillars that hold the weight of entire buildings are not displayed openly for anyone to touch, to inspect, to break. Why? Because what holds power must be protected. A woman's inner world, her emotions, her wounds, these are her foundation. They are not for everyone to see. Some men, when they see a woman's weaknesses too soon, lose respect. Not because she is weak, but because she did not make him earn the right to witness her in that state. There is something powerful about a woman who knows how to carry her own storms without immediately running to a man for shelter. A woman who can stand in her struggles with grace without begging for rescue. A woman who does not allow her pain to become her identity, but instead transforms it into wisdom, into strength, into quiet resilience. This does not mean a woman must never show her emotions. It does not mean she must always be a fortress, unshaken, unmoved. No, but she must be selective. She must understand that not everyone deserves to see her at her lowest. Not everyone has the heart to hold space for her pain without using it against her later. Not everyone who listens truly cares. Some only listen to collect information. How many women have poured their hearts out only to later hear their deepest fears turned into insults in the middle of an argument? How many have revealed their softest places only to realize that the man they trusted saw those places as points of attack, not places to protect? This is why a woman must watch, observe, test before she allows a man into the most delicate parts of her heart. A man who truly deserves to see a woman's weaknesses will never make her feel like they are something to be ashamed of. He will never use them to belittle her, to control her, to manipulate her. He will hold them with honor, not with judgment. But a man like that is rare, and a woman must not rush to assume every man she meets is capable of such depth. There is power in holding back, in allowing a man to see her strength before he ever sees her struggles, in letting him witness her confidence, her independence, her ability to navigate life without needing saving. Because a man who falls for a woman's strength will be the same man who can handle her weakness. But a man who is drawn only to a vulnerability, who only stays because she needs him, will leave the moment she no longer does. A woman's weaknesses are not shameful, they are simply not for every man to see. Because in the wrong hands they become chains. But in the right hands they become a bond that only grows stronger with time. A woman's dreams are not for every man to know, not because she must hide them out of fear, but because dreams are delicate, and the wrong hands can crush them before they have a chance to grow. A woman must guard her aspirations, her visions, her deepest desires not from the world, but from the man who has not yet proven that he will support them, nurture them, or stand beside her as she chases them. Not every man has the strength to handle a woman with a purpose. Not every man will celebrate her ambitions. Some will try to shrink them, silence them, and make her believe that her dreams are too much, that she should settle, that she should make herself smaller so that he can feel bigger. A woman must never allow a man to become the thief of her destiny. She must never give her dreams into the hands of someone who does not believe in them as much as she does. Because a man who does not support a woman's dreams is a man who will eventually stand in the way of them. He may not always do it directly, sometimes he will do it in whispers, in subtle comments, in small discouragements that plant seeds of doubt in her mind. That's too hard. Are you sure you can do that? Maybe you should just focus on us instead. And before she knows it, she begins to believe that maybe, just maybe, she is aiming too high. But the truth is, a woman's dreams are her birthright. They are not something to be negotiated, sacrificed, or dimmed to make a man comfortable. A man who truly loves a woman does not feel threatened by her success, by her hunger for more, by her desire to create, build, achieve. He does not ask her to shrink so that he can shine. He does not make her feel guilty for having a purpose that exists beyond him. Instead, he stands beside her like a warrior, pushing her forward, reminding her of her power, refusing to let her settle for anything less than what she was born to be. A woman must be careful, because some men will pretend to support her dreams in the beginning, but when they realize her dreams require time, energy, dedication, they will begin to resist. They will act as if she is choosing ambition over love, as if wanting more for herself means wanting less for the relationship. But love should never be a cage. The right man will not make a woman feel like she must choose between love and purpose. He will make sure she has both. Look at the women who have changed history, the women who have risen against all odds, the women who have left their mark on the world. None of them did it by asking permission. None of them waited for a man to validate their dreams before they dared to pursue them. A woman must understand that her dreams are hers first. She must never put them in the hands of a man who does not have the strength to carry them with her. Some men will say, but what about family? What about being there for your man? And to that, a woman must ask, what about being there for myself? Because a woman who loses herself in a man's world, who gives up everything she ever wanted for the sake of being the perfect partner, will wake up one day and realize that she has nothing of her own left. She will look in the mirror and see a reflection of someone who once had fire in her soul, now reduced to ashes. A man who truly sees a woman's worth will never ask her to dim her light. He will never make her feel like she must choose between love and success. Instead, he will remind her that a woman who chases her dreams is a woman who keeps love alive. Because she is alive, she is passionate, she is fulfilled. She is not a shadow of herself, she is the full force of her potential, burning like a star in the night sky. A woman's dreams must be protected, not just from the world, but from the men who do not understand them, who do not respect them, who see them as competition instead of something to be celebrated. She must hold them close, nurture them in silence if she must, until she finds a man who does not just tolerate them, but fights alongside her to make them a reality. Because a woman's dreams are not a burden. They are not too big. They are not too much. They are the reason she was born. And any man who cannot handle the fire of a woman's purpose was never meant to stand beside her in the first place. A woman who knows her worth does not beg to be understood. She does not explain herself to those who refuse to listen. She does not shrink to fit into a world that was never meant to contain her. She walks with power, with grace, with an unshakable knowing that she is not here to be owned, controlled, or molded into someone else's idea of who she should be. She is here to become everything she was meant to be without apology, without hesitation, without permission. And for that she must be ruthless in guarding herself. She must protect her essence like a queen guards her kingdom, selective, watchful, never allowing the undeserving to step beyond her gates. Because not every man who knocks at the door of her soul comes with love. Some come to take, to weaken, to conquer. Some come with smiles but carry weapons hidden behind their words. Some do not wish to see her rise, they only wish to own her before she realizes she is unstoppable. But she is not to be owned. She is not to be caged. She is wild like fire, free like the wind, deep like the ocean. And the moment she understands this, the moment she chooses herself over the expectations of the world, she becomes untouchable. People will say, but isn't love about giving? Yes, but not giving blindly. A woman can give her heart, but she must never hand over her soul. She can love deeply, but she must never lose herself in that love. She can open herself to a man, but she must never lay her power at his feet like an offering. Because the moment a woman forgets her power, she allows the world to define her worth. A man who is worthy of a woman does not weaken her. He does not ask her to dim her light so that he can shine. He does not make her feel guilty for her strength, her dreams, her independence. A real man stands beside her, not in front of her, not behind her. He does not seek to control her, he seeks to protect the force that she is. And this is where a woman must be unbreakable. She must not lower her standards because she is afraid of being alone. She must not accept half love, half effort, half devotion. Because she is not half of anything, she is whole, complete, enough. And a woman who knows this chooses differently. She chooses men who match her, not men who drain her. She chooses a life of purpose, not a life of pleasing others. She chooses strength over approval, growth over comfort, freedom over being possessed. Some will not understand her. Some will call her difficult, too strong, too independent. But a lioness does not concern herself with the opinions of sheep. A queen does not lower her crown because others find it intimidating. A storm does not apologize for its power. And a woman who knows who she is does not apologize for being unstoppable. She does not chase, she does not beg. She does not explain. She moves like the sun, radiant, undeniable, life-giving, and too powerful to be ignored. She is not afraid of losing a man. She is afraid of losing herself. Because she understands one truth that changes everything. A man who is meant for her will never ask her to be less.